When celebs bang on about how hard it is being famous, we're looking at you, Gwyneth. It's refreshing to see the likes of James Blunt address the trappings of fame with a sense of humour and self-deprecation. But one thing James is serious about is his music. You like the spark in my bonfire. 4 albums selling over 17 million copies, 5 Grammy nominations and a few world tours that kept James busy since his breakout hit was first released in 2005.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true.
We spoke to the singer in a lead-up to his visit last year, and now he's here entertaining audiences the country over with fantastic music and, no doubt, a good laugh.
Well, would you please make welcome James Blunt? Yeah. A lot of love out there. A lot of love for you there, James. We're great that you could come on and chat with us tonight. Australians seem to love you. You seem to love performing here. Your shows are always a sellout. You look every bit at the moment a musician who's out there loving what he does.
Yeah, I'm looking hungover, actually, is what I am. Yeah, you know, I'm on a world tour. I started in China, in Shanghai, on New Year's Eve, and this tour goes on right around the world till March 2015. But I promise you, a highlight of my tour for me and my band is Australia, because the audiences here are fantastic, and it's a good place to go and hit the town after every concert.
That is the correct answer, James.
Can I ask you about the hangover? What were you doing last night?
I went to a couple of bars and clubs, and till they threw me out.
Yeah, right.
Rejected.
As
wow,
is traditional.
breaking news.
Well, it's ripped rock and roll.
You started this tour in China. What's the Chinese audience like? I mean, how
They're really enthusiastic. I like them because they're quite short and they make me feel tall. And as a smaller person, I need that kind of help. They definitely, the authorities do control you quite a bit. They do go through your lyrics and say which songs you can't sing. They do have certain rules, you know, and if you want to go and play there, you have to abide by them.
Were any of the lyrics struck out?
You're not tempted to break the rules and see what happens.
Well, I've seen what they do to audience members who get too enthusiastic and they get dragged off.
Speaking of audience members getting enthusiastic, I think it was Iggy Azalea or Katy Perry was saying recently that they can't go into the crowd now because people touch them inappropriately. Like, they quite seriously had to stop it.
I like being touched inappropriately.
Do you find that the barrier's gone now? People just think they can...
So I jump into my audience every night, actually, just to get a feel.
And are there some wandering hands?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you pause on the wandering hands?
It depends what they look like.
well, that's you going into the stage. Now, do people throw stuff on the stage?
Yeah, they do. I don't really pay attention to what's coming up onto the stage because it could be anything.
Yeah, well, Weezer were playing last Friday night. Check this out. Someone throws a frisbee onto the stage. Watch the drummer at the back. Watch the drummer as a frisbee comes in. He doesn't miss a beat, literally doesn't miss a beat. Bang, and keeps going. Patrick Wilson there, the Weezer drummer. Some fancy... frisbee ever up onto the stage?
No, I've had an apple which I've caught.
Oh, nice. Did you eat it?
I did take a bite, yes. I don't think it was sent in a friendly manner. I think it was quite an aggressively thrown apple.
I don't get that. Why would you go to a concert if you hate it?
It was a festival, so...
I was going to say, why would you take an apple to a concert?
So, James, the fourth album now, Moon Landing. Talk us through the title of the fourth album.
I haven't thought about it so hard. I don't know what... it's called Moon Landing, really, because I suppose I went on a little journey. I went back to Los Angeles to find the man who recorded my first album, which was Back to Bedlam nearly 10 years ago now, and he and I locked ourselves in a little capsule, and this album sounds sort of old school and retro and lonely, and it just sounded like the kind of moon landings themselves.
Yeah, you're a romantic type of dude.
Not really, no.
Yeah, no, you are. And
with that song you sing, you cannot say you're not a romantic. You've made men romantic.
Yeah, I would
over.
dispute that because I'm kind of known best, obviously, for a song like "Goodbye, My Lover," which is about failed romance, and "You're Beautiful," obviously, I'm known, which is a guy on the underground stalking someone else's girlfriend while he's high on drugs, should be arrested. Yeah. I don't think that's necessarily very romantic, but whatever you're into.
It's romantic in my book.
We should be together.
Yeah. So you would never put one of your songs on in a romantic situation, then?
I think that would be a little uncomfortable.
Do you know where they do use your song, though?
I have better taste in music than that.
They use your song, I read the other day, it's one of the top 5 songs for women to give birth to. You're Beautiful is. Seriously?
Awesome. Rather than my song be there than me.
Now, James, there's no logical segue from that, but let's go on romance. You potentially could be about to disappoint people the world over. It's true that you're recently engaged?
It's true.
What can you tell us about that?
Very little.
Very little. All right,
that's true.
How about this then? So a lot of the music that you write, it seems to be informed by a little bit of heartbreak. You know, a lot of people going through breakups would listen to your music and try and take some solace. Where does your inspiration come from now that you're hitched?
Yeah, tricky one, because in the past, obviously, I've, tried to be dumped by girlfriends just purely to get inspiration for songs. So, yeah, this could be the end of my musical career.
Let's go back to the fiancé. Isn't there a connection with the Duke of Wellington?
Something like that, yeah.
Very uncomfortable. Don't want to talk about
Yeah. He doesn't seem that keen.
No, I don't think so.
And the bad news for you, Steve, is not a chance. He's taken, OK? So hands off.
I'm sure you can play You're Beautiful Down the Aisle or something like that.
Yeah.
No. Now, you're sticking with us. We've got to take a break, but
Great.
you'll stay with us and we'll see you back here in just a moment. And a British mum and daughter have lashed out after security guards at a One Direction concert banned them from dancing. With tickets for level 3 of the arena, they say security told everyone in their row to remain seated amid fears that overexcited fans would fall off the balcony.
Well, really... Sorry to interrupt, I was going to say, who better to ask about this, really, than global superstar Mr James Blunt, who is with us at the desk. James, it'd be fair to say, I guess, that you'd get some highly motivated fans occasionally at your gigs. Do you ever get any crazy mother-daughter combos?
Mother-daughter combo. I don't think I've never had a mother-daughter combo.
Finally, some inspiration for the next album.
Yeah. I'm just imagining that. I don't know if that would
Dancing
work even.
combos.
No, but a lot of artists say that sometimes the mothers
you want
are
an audience
crazy.
to stand up in their seats and have fun. And so it's a shame when venues do try and grip them and tell them to sit down too much.
And speaking of audiences having fun, isn't it true that 2 Australian audience members have married members of your band?
Absolutely, we've occasionally met people from the audience and dragged them backstage. And
Does that happen?
And 2 of my
Hold on. I thought that does that actually happen? What, you notice a couple and go, all right, you can come back, or
3 of my bandmates in total have married people from the audience.
Wow.
wow?
But again, if I'm on a tour for 18 months, which I'm on now, the only place I go ever to meet people is a concert. And 2 have married girls from Perth, absolutely fantastic people, and they're happily married with children.
Aussie girls going to the concerts this next week. Look out!
And my drummer is still on offer. There's probably a reason he's still on offer, but
James, from Perth.
Gotcha.
Ticket sales have just gone through the roof.
It's all sold out. Now, you've hosted a couple of things in your time. What do you make of this? Now, this is... have a look at the screen here. This is Hugh Jackman hosting at the Tonys. Hey, man,
He's got a bit of criticism today.
He's copped a lot of criticism. Now, we love Hugh, so we're not going to criticise him. But do you think that the hopping thing went on for 4 minutes?
Well, then he's very fit, then, isn't he? One should be impressed by his athleticism.
I am impressed by that. I sat next to him.
Wow, that
big
was
jump.
pretty impressive.
He's done some practice.
Yeah. Are you a hopping man yourself?
No.
No.
Would you want to host award shows like that? I mean, that's hard work for anyone to do that and have everyone say that was an awesome job. You know what I mean? Like, you can't win.
Yeah, 4 minutes of hopping is... Yeah, I think one should give him credit for that.
Now, I want to ask you before we go. Apparently, I've read today that you won Teen Idol of Turkey in 2011. How did that change your life?
And for Kazakhstan too. I mean, amazing. The awards keep coming in.
Change your life forever? I mean,
Yeah, I didn't know I got that one. It's probably my mum voting as well. My mum's probably voting on Turkish telephone lines.
When you hear the numbers like you sold 17 million albums, is that hard to get your head around?
Yeah, I mean... I suppose what is also weird is that we put so much kind of emphasis on chart positions and number of albums sold. And really, it's music and art shouldn't be counted in that way. And there's some amazing artists in the world. My greatest influence really is a guy called Elliot Smith. And he's never really notched up a great chart position, and he hasn't sold millions of albums. But I tell you what, he's a hell of a lot better musician than me. So it's like, you can't really measure art in any way.
all right, unfortunately, we've been told we've got 15 seconds left in the show, so I want to say a big thank you to you for joining us.
Yes.
Your new album.
Gimme, gimme, gimme! I need some more! Gimme, gimme, gimme! Don't ask what for! 1, 2, 3, 4!